Right, so today we're going to do a deep dive on this Magical Tactics program.
Oh, yeah, I saw that advertised, too, on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the one, it's a whole thing, like, wow.
Definitely a lot to unpack.
Yeah, and, I think a lot of people are curious about this, so
Absolutely.
we're going to break it down for you.
Yeah, and not just, like, what it say, what it's promising, but also, like, what's the psychology behind all this?
Right.
It's fascinating how these things play on, like, common insecurities and desires when it comes to dating.
Yeah, for sure. And, right off the bat, this Mark Raymond guy, he, like, launches into this whole sob story,
Yeah.
bullied as a kid, bad breakup with a cheating girlfriend,
Classic.
classic loser turned winner narrative.
It's textbook.
Yeah.
It's a textbook tactic to, like, build that relatability,
Right.
It's like, I was once like you,
Yeah.
but now I'm awesome and you can be too.
Exactly.
But then he makes this leap into this, like, secret formula for attracting women
Yeah.
that supposedly less than 1% of men know.
Wait, hold on. Less than 1%.
Yeah. And it can make any woman obsessed with you.
Obsessed. That just sounds kind of creepy.
Right. Notice the language obsessed, addicted, enslaved.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Right away. This is like a
Red flag.
red flag.
Yeah.
This is not about healthy relationships. This is about control. Instead, disguised as, like, dating advice.
So not exactly the empowering message we were hoping for.
Right.
And then he goes on about this whole conscious versus unconscious mind thing,
Yeah.
saying you have to appeal to a woman's emotions, not her logic. Is there any truth to that?
So he is oversimplifying things,
Yeah.
but he does touch on a key truth, which is that understanding emotions in dating is vital.
Okay.
Like, you're not a robot, and neither are the people you're attracted to.
Right.
It's about connection, not just, like, cold logic.
Okay. So emotions matter. Got it.
Yes.
But then things take a really strange turn.
Okay.
He claims you can actually make a woman feel physically addicted to you by triggering these so-called pleasure hormones.
Okay.
Is that even possible?
So he's talking about hormones like dopamine and oxytocin, which are linked to pleasure and bonding.
Right.
They're part of natural attraction. But he's twisting this science to make it sound like you can manipulate someone into falling for you,
Yeah.
which is simply not true.
Wow. That's pretty messed up.
Yeah.
So all this build-up leads to the big reveal, of course.
Of course.
The Magical Tactics Manual.
Right.
He throws out all these things. It'll teach you, like, magic lines to make a woman focus on you and something called a cocktail compliment to, like, make her euphoric. It all sounds very gimmicky.
Classic sales tactics, right?
Yeah.
Promise quick fixes, special knowledge,
Right.
and prey on that fear of missing out.
Right. Who wouldn't want the easy button for love?
Exactly.
Speaking of buttons, he hits the one labeled limited time discount.
Oh, yeah.
Only $47.
Got to get it now.
With a money-back guarantee, of course.
Of course, designed to lower your resistance.
Yeah.
Make you think, like, why not? What have I got to lose?
Exactly. But then he goes on this weird rant about players
Oh, yeah.
who make things happen
Mhm.
and spectators who just watch from the sidelines.
Yeah.
What was that about?
It's all about creating that us versus them mentality.
Right.
Like, if you don't buy into his program, you're destined to fail.
Okay.
It's a pressure tactic.
So classic manipulation at play here. We've covered a lot, but there's still so much to unpack.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Where do we go from here?
Well, let's dig into some of the specific techniques that he mentions and explore what healthy, ethical approaches to dating actually look like.
Right.
The kind that build genuine connections, not just illusions of control.
Sounds good to me. Let's do it. Okay, so we just went through, like, the first part of Mark Raymond's Magical Tactics pitch.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's setting off some alarm bells for me.
Yeah, I get that.
But before we, like, dismiss it entirely, you mentioned that there are some, like, glimmers of truth hidden in all the hype.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so let's unpack those a bit.
Okay.
For example, he talks about appealing to the emotional mind, which sounds manipulative at first.
Right.
But I think there is a valid point underneath.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do we separate the manipulation from the genuine ways of connecting with someone on an emotional level?
Well, I think one of the most important things is authenticity.
Okay.
People can sense when you're being fake or trying too hard.
Right.
Just drop the act. Be yourself.
So ditch the cheesy pickup lines.
Exactly.
Just be real.
Yeah, authenticity is about showing your true personality and letting your genuine interest shine through.
Okay.
And along with that, active listening is crucial. When you genuinely listen to someone, you're showing them that you value what they have to say.
Put away the phones, folks.
Exactly.
Really be present in the conversation.
Be present.
What else can we do to make those emotional connections?
Sharing your own experiences and vulnerabilities in a way that's appropriate for the situation can be powerful.
Okay.
It builds trust and intimacy.
So open up a little, but maybe not spill your entire life story on the first date.
Right, exactly. It's about being open gradually as you build trust.
Okay.
Now, remember those pleasure hormones he talked about?
Yeah.
He kind of twisted the science to make it sound like mind control.
Right.
But there is a real biological process at play.
So how do we tap into that in a healthy way? Is it even possible?
Well, think of the things that make you feel good.
Okay.
Laughter, shared interests, acts of kindness, meaningful conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Those experiences naturally contribute to those feel-good hormones being released.
So no need to like hack anyone's brain with magic lines.
Right.
It's about genuine connection and shared experiences.
Exactly.
Okay, and let's revisit that whole player versus spectator thing.
Yeah.
While it's important to be proactive and put yourself out there,
Right.
his framing is so damaging.
It is.
It creates this false idea that you're either like aggressively pursuing relationships
Right.
or you're a failure.
Yeah, like there's only one right way to find love. It totally ignores individual personalities and preferences.
Yeah,
Some people are more introverted and need to take things slower.
exactly. And focusing on like quality connections
Yes.
rather than racking up numbers like a player
Right.
is much more likely to lead to fulfilling relationships.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what about that cocktail compliment he bragged about?
Oh, yeah, the cocktail compliment.
Is there anything to that, or is it just another manipulation tactic?
It's impossible to say for sure without knowing exactly what he's teaching.
Right.
But any compliment should pass the genuineness test.
Okay.
Ask yourself, does this truly reflect something I appreciate about this person?
So no cheesy over-the-top flattery just to get a reaction?
Right? If it feels forced or calculated, it's likely to backfire.
Okay.
And be mindful of the timing and context.
Mm-hmm.
A compliment that's appropriate in one situation could be totally off-putting in another.
Got it. Now, I think we need to address the elephant in the room here.
Okay.
This whole idea of making a woman obsessed with you. The language is so creepy, and the premise is just wrong.
Yeah.
How do we cultivate attraction and build strong relationships without resorting to manipulation?
Well, it starts with building a genuine connection, not chasing some illusion of control.
Okay.
Relationships are a two-way street, a partnership, not a conquest.
So ditch the magical tactics and focus on actually getting to know someone.
Yeah, back to
Revolutionary, I know. It might sound simple, but it's the foundation.
Right.
And on top of that, communication is key.
Okay.
Be open and honest about your thoughts and feelings. Learn to communicate effectively, both verbally and non-verbally.
Talk to each other, express yourself.
Yes.
Easier said than done sometimes, though, right?
It can be, but good communication takes practice and patience.
Yeah.
It's about listening without judgment, expressing your needs clearly, and finding ways to resolve conflicts constructively.
So healthy communication is a skill we can all work on.
Absolutely.
What else is essential for a solid relationship?
Respect, absolutely.
Treat each other with kindness, consideration, and empathy. Value each other's opinions, even when you disagree.
Basic human decency.
Right.
It's not that complicated.
You'd be surprised how often it's overlooked.
Yeah, true.
And then there's trust, the bedrock of any strong relationship.
Okay.
Be reliable, dependable, honest.
So don't lie, cheat, or steal.
Pretty much.
Seems like good life advice in general, not just for dating.
Exactly. Honesty and integrity are essential across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also crucial to be on the same page about your values and goals.
Okay.
Talk about the things that matter to you.
Right, now sweeping those big life questions under the rug.
Exactly. Transparency and open communication help prevent misunderstandings and conflicts later on.
So we've got connection, communication, respect, trust, shared values.
Yes.
Anything else we should add to the healthy relationship checklist?
Don't forget to have fun.
Oh, right.
Life is too short to be serious all the time.
Yeah.
Make time for shared experiences that bring you joy.
Dates, adventures, laughter.
All the good stuff. Laughter is like emotional glue.
Okay.
It strengthens bonds and creates positive memories.
So we've explored healthy alternatives to magical tactics,
Yes.
and it boils down to being a decent human being.
Pretty much.
Shocking.
I know.
Really shouldn't be right.
Yeah.
But remember, building a healthy relationship is a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
It takes work, self-reflection, and a willingness to grow together.
So no magic formulas here, just genuine effort and a commitment to building something real.
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because when you approach relationships with authenticity and respect, that's when you find true connection and lasting fulfillment.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, but we're not quite done yet.
Not yet.
In the final part of this deep dive,
Yes.
we'll explore the ethical concerns surrounding Mark Raymond's program and provide you with some resources and strategies for developing healthy relationship skills.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned. Okay, so we've spent this whole deep dive dissecting Mark Raymond's magical tactics.
Yeah. And frankly, the more we uncover, the more concerned I get.
Yeah.
The whole premise just feels so manipulative and disrespectful.
I agree.
Especially that whole player versus spectator rant.
Right.
And the language about making women obsessed.
It's sending off major red flags for me.
Yeah, you're right to be concerned.
Yeah.
This program really pushes a view of relationships that's transactional and dehumanizing.
Right.
It's reducing people to targets of manipulation.
So let's talk about the potential harm of this kind of mindset.
Okay.
What are the real-world consequences
Yeah.
of treating dating like some kind of game to be won?
Well, I think the biggest danger is the erosion of empathy and respect.
Okay.
When your focus is on controlling someone's feelings,
Right.
you stop seeing them as a complex individual
Yeah.
with their own needs and desires.
It's like you're objectifying them.
Exactly.
Turning a human connection into a conquest.
Exactly. And that kind of objectification can have devastating consequences.
Yeah.
It can lead to emotional abuse,
Right.
power imbalances, and even physical harm.
That's a scary thought.
It is.
It makes you realize how important it is to recognize these red flags.
Yes.
And choose a healthier path.
Absolutely.
So how do we steer clear of these manipulative tactics
Right.
and build relationships that are built on respect and equality?
Well, we've touched on some key points already.
Right.
Genuine connection,
Mm-hmm.
open communication, mutual respect, trust, and shared values.
Yeah.
These aren't just buzzwords.
Right.
They're the cornerstones of healthy relationships.
Right. It's about treating each other like human beings.
Exactly.
But where can people go for guidance?
Yeah.
Are there resources available for those who want to learn more about building these kinds of relationships?
Absolutely. There are tons of great resources out there.
Well-
Books, articles, podcasts dedicated to healthy relationships. You can also find workshops and therapy groups.
That focus on communication skills, conflict resolution, and emotional intelligence.
So there's help out there for those who want to learn and grow.
Definitely. And remember, building healthy relationships is a lifelong process
Yeah.
of self-reflection and learning.
Right.
It's not about reaching some perfect state.
Right.
It's about continuously striving to be a better partner.
It's about growth, both individually and together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you approach relationships with authenticity, respect, and a willingness to learn,
Mm-hmm.
you create the space for something truly meaningful and fulfilling to blossom.
So to wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
let's leave our listener with some key takeaways.
Okay.
We've debunked the magical formulas
Right.
and exposed the dark side of these manipulation tactics.
Yeah.
But more importantly, we've highlighted the power of building relationships
Yes.
based on genuine connection and respect.
Absolutely. Here's a final thought to consider.
Okay.
What are your values and goals in dating?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of relationship do you want to build?
Yep.
Let those answers guide your choices, not some quick fix scheme.
Right.
Invest in developing healthy relationship skills.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on genuine connection. And remember that true love is about mutual respect,
Yeah.
shared joy, and celebrating each other's individuality.
Beautifully said. And that's a wrap on this deep dive.
Great talking with you as always.
Yeah, you too. We hope this exploration has empowered you to navigate the world of dating with wisdom, integrity, and a whole lot of heart. Until next time, stay curious and keep diving deep.